Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. George Pickens named Steelers' best trade asset by Joe Clark posted on March 21, 2025 at 7:30 a.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers upgraded their receiver room by acquiring DK Metcalf, but Metcalf's acquisition and subsequent contract extension led to questions about the future of George Pickens. Pickens is entering the last year of his contract, and the Steelers almost surely won't extend him ahead of 2025. That would lead to him playing out his contract year, and the risk that he'll leave next offseason for nothing more than a potential comp pick in return. With Pickens' production as a number one receiver for the Steelers and just 1 year remaining on his contract, he was named as the team's best trade asset by PFF's Bradley Locker. Pickens rose to the occasion in 2024, earning a career-high 79.7 PFF receiving grade with 2.11 yards per route run. But drop issues, 12.3% drop rate, and lingering concerns about maturity overshadow his on-field production. In an offseason with few signature perimeter receiver stars available, a team might get aggressive in trading for the pending free agent, Locker wrote. Our latest videos: if the Steelers do trade Pickens, it would likely happen before the 2025 NFL Draft. The Steelers gave up their second-round pick in the trade for Metcalf, and trading Pickens would likely recoup them another day 2 pick. With the Steelers only having 6 draft picks in a draft class that's deep at a few positions of need, it wouldn't be the worst idea to try and get some value now for Pickens rather than letting him play out his contract. But the Steelers have been trying to meaningfully upgrade their receiver room over the past few years, and they've given themselves one of the better duos in the league with Pickens and Metcalf. Trading Pickens still leaves a hole at receiver, and even if the Steelers drafted a rookie, the room wouldn't be as good as it could be with Pickens and Metcalf. The fact that the Steelers still haven't figured out their quarterback situation also makes it harder to commit to making a big move and trading away one of their best offensive weapons. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette said things are up in the air regarding Pickens' future with the team right now. I'd probably bet on George Pickens at least beginning the season in Pittsburgh, unless he winds up requesting a trade. At that point, the Steelers would work to move him, but I don't think the team is going to move on from Pickens before seeing how the offense looks with Pickens and Metcalf together. The NFL released a list of rule proposals suggested by teams in advance to the annual spring meetings that will take place at West Palm Beach April 30th. Some of them make a lot of sense, such as the Steelers' suggestion that teams be permitted to have one phone call or video conference with pending free agents during the league's 2-day legal tampering period before free agency begins. Currently, teams are only permitted to speak with the agents of those players. Others, however, are a little more radical, Detroit's proposal on seeding of the playoffs being chief among them. Currently, the 4 division winners in each conference are seeded 1 through 4 based on record and tiebreakers, with the 3 wild card teams seeded in order of record and tiebreaks 5th through 7th. Detroit has proposed that the conference seeding should be based solely on record, regardless of whether a team wins its division or not. But the league has treated wild cards as such since it was first introduced in 1970, which began with one team earning a wild card berth. The league has since expanded to 4 divisions in each conference in 2002, up from 3 prior to that. Before 2002, the league had just 3 divisions in each conference and 3 wild card teams also made the playoffs. But in 2020, the league decided to expand to allow a 7th team into the postseason, adding the 3rd wild card back into the equation. But simply seeding teams based on their overall record, divisions would become meaningless. The NFL might as well go back to its pre-1967 format in which there were 2 conferences and no divisions. Of course, back then, there also were only 15 NFL teams and 8 teams, including the Steelers, played in the East Division and 7 teams played in the West Division, with the 2 champions meeting at the end of the season for the championship. Green Bay, the West Division champion, beat East champion Dallas, don't ask, The NFL has long had a problem determining East from West for the NFL championship, with the Packers then moving on to beat the AFL champion Chiefs in Super Bowl I. The following season, the NFL split into 4 divisions, with 3 of the winners, Dallas, Cleveland and Green Bay, winning 9 games. The Rams won the Coastal Division at 11-1-2, beating the Baltimore Colts, yes, I guess both are, technically, located on coasts, via tiebreaker for the title, as the Colts also finished 11-1-2, tied for the best record in the NFL. The Colts, despite their gaudy record, which was better than the other 3 division winners, didn't even get a playoff spot. And therein lies the rub. There are always going to be situations in which a second-place team from a division has a better record than that of at least one division champion. But that doesn't mean the divisional format should be tossed out. The NFL doesn't play a balanced schedule, meaning Team A doesn't play the exact same schedule as Team B. Should Team A benefit because it plays in a weaker, less competitive division or has an easier overall schedule than Team B? Right now, the NFL says no. Winning a division matters. Think about the history of the Steelers. In the late 1970s, an argument could be made that the top 2 teams in AFC were the Steelers and Oilers. That made their division matchups in the regular season extremely meaningful, since it determined which team would potentially get to host the 3rd meeting in the postseason. The same thing goes for the Steelers and Ravens in the 2000s and even through today. Those 2 division rivals have met in the playoffs 5 times since 2001. The regular season meetings often decide where that game will be played. Under Detroit's proposal, those games would take on a lot less meaning if the seeding were simply based on overall record. Why upset the apple cart in terms of the meaning of the regular season game simply because a wild card with a better record happens to have to go on the road? If they don't want that to be the case, they can win their division, because in that case, the teams are largely playing a similar schedule. Second-place teams will still gripe about it. But someone's always unhappy, likely starting with Colts fans back in 1967. The Packers have proposed making aiding a ball carrier illegal again, hence getting rid of the Eagles' brotherly shove. Other teams utilize this method of shoving a player who takes the center snap from behind, but none do it as well as the Eagles. What the Packers are proposing also extends beyond helping the quarterback. It extends to aiding all runners, which also used to be illegal. We'll see where that proposal goes, but it doesn't seem to have an overwhelming percentage of support. The Lions have proposed the elimination of offenses getting an automatic first down for defensive holding or illegal contact penalties. That could have some interesting unintended consequences if passed. While it stinks that the offense gets an automatic first down for a 5-yard penalty on, say, 3rd and 13, the reason for the rule is that some teams were coaching their players to be very grabby, feeling officials couldn't call them all. I don't know that there will be a groundswell to change that rule either. The Steelers reworked their secondary in a big way in the opening week of free agency, signing cornerbacks Darius Slay and Brandon Echols and safety Juan Thornhill. They also brought back cornerback James Pierre, one of their top gunners in punt coverage who also has plenty of experience in the defense. The beauty of the deals are that of that group, only Slay is slated to be a starter, though Echols and Thornhill both have extensive backgrounds in the slot and could be in the mix starting there. It's all about having options. Steelers may be eyeing surprise first-round QB who's flying up draft boards. It's no secret the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking to move on from quarterback Russell Wilson in 2025. The team reportedly made an aggressive offer to keep Justin Fields before he signed a 2-year, $40 million contract with the New York Jets, and Pittsburgh brought back Mason Rudolph on a 2-year contract after spending last season with the Tennessee Titans. The Steelers are waiting to hear back from their fallback option Aaron Rodgers, who's reportedly taking his time in deciding about playing next season. It's been reported that Rodgers could wait until after the 2025 NFL Draft next month to make a decision, and if that happens, or if Rodgers ends up going with the Giants, the Steelers could turn to the draft to find another QB to bring in and compete with Rudolph for the starting job. And ESPN analyst Harry Douglas believes there's one under-the-radar passer who's flying up draft boards that could make a lot of sense for the Steelers if they go that route. During Thursday's episode of Get Up, Mike Greenberg pitched the Cleveland Browns taking either Colorado receiver/cornerback Travis Hunter or Penn State defensive end Abdul Carter number 2 overall and trading back up into the first round to get Louisville QB Tyler Shough. Douglas stated that he liked that plan but he believed the Steelers will snatch up Shough before the Browns get the chance to. "I love that, my only concern is that I don't believe Tyler Shough will be there late in the first round," Douglas said. "If Pittsburgh stays at 21, I think Pittsburgh at 21 could take Tyler Shough." NFL insider Adam Schefter chimed in, giving some legitimacy to Douglas' idea, stating Shough to the Steelers is already being talked about by some around the league. "I had somebody say to me about a week ago, a coach, they just said, I could see the Pittsburgh Steelers being interested in Tyler Shough," Schefter said. "The Steelers didn't say that, but other people have said that, and we'll see whether or not there's any validity to that 5 weeks from now." Though Shough will turn 26 shortly after the season starts, scouts are enamored with him because of his size, 6'5", 225 pounds, speed. He ran a 4.54 in the 40-yard dash, and arm talent. Shough has a breakout season for Louisville in 2024, passing for 3,195 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions while leading the Cardinals to a 9-4 record and win over Washington in the Sun Bowl. Are you a fan? What do you think of Tyler Shough's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.